This is Sheriff David Clarke from Milwaukee. Let's see. Is this going to play?
The last thing I want to talk about, and I wasn't scared.
This was at the National Press Club in D.C. No coverage as far as I could tell.
We'll talk about this. This is important. Someone mentioned Eric Holder. And
I might point out he's black.
I'm known for not sugarcoating things. This pissed me off.
A smattering of applause.
I sat up and watched as the events unfold in Ferguson, Missouri. Unfortunate situation, obviously. Anytime a law enforcement officer uses force and takes a life, it deserves a thorough, transparent vetting, investigation. We all kind of agree with that. But then some groups started to converge on the small town of Ferguson, Missouri, like vultures on a roadside carcass. Groups like the new Black Panther Party, people like Al Sharpton, to come and exploit that situation, and instead of coming in to help and try to restore calm, poured gas on that fire with some of their inflammatory and irresponsible rhetoric. And I sat up there and listened to Governor Nixon, and I sat up there and listened to Claire McCaskill, the senator. And then I sat up there and listened to Eric Holder throw law enforcement officers under the bus for political expediency. These are the same individuals at election time that come around wanting support from law enforcement organizations, right? They all stand up there. I'm supported by this fraternal organization and this police association, and I've received an excellent rating by the... They do that when they need us. But now there was an opportunity to improve their bona fides with some of these interest groups like the new Black Panther Party, to flaunt their racial sensitivity and threw law enforcement under the bus. I expect that from Governor Nixon.
Do you want to hear more?
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
I don't want you to get bored. That's all. Just
There's
tell me.
a couple. If I'm bored, I'm going to tell you that. I think
That's why I wanted to make sure. Yeah,
Well, you don't have to check in.
Yeah, I do check.
Just wait for me to jump in saying, this is boring.
I expected that from Claire McCaskill.
Did you want to say something before I continue?
No, I'm listening. The governor he's talking about, I believe, is a Democrat. And this is the only confusing thing about this whole deal. And McCaskill's a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that baffles me is the Democrat element on the other side of this debate. Doesn't make sense if it's all about just making everyone into a Democrat. But anyway, play on, and I'll maybe think about why I'm so confused.
He is indeed a Democrat. I'm just checking here.
Yes.
Those are nothing but two-bit politicians. They do that sort of. That's what politicians do. You know that. But I did not expect that from Eric Holder, who calls himself a law enforcement officer. And instead of talking responsibly, instead of measuring his words, because that's what's needed at a time like that, you got to measure what you say, because tensions are high, and the wrong thing said can make a bad situation worse. And he sat up there and talked about how he has seen law enforcement officers profile. He's been the victim of racial profiling himself. And
this is an interesting story.
He named two situations. One in a traffic stop in New Jersey, and he said, I remember feeling the indignation as they searched my vehicle. And then he talked about a situation when he was in Georgetown, not too far from here, and how he and a friend were stopped on the way to the movie theater, and they felt that they were racially profiled. And he said, I was a federal prosecutor when those things happened. And I said, wait a minute. Mr. Attorney General, if you felt those officers had violated your Fourth Amendment rights and you're a federal prosecutor and you didn't say anything at the time, on behalf of everybody in the United States, you could have done something if you felt that? You could have made a complaint? Because all of us kind of realize in law enforcement, right, we testify, what do they say in court? If you didn't write it down, if you didn't report it, it didn't happen. And that's what I was thinking. Oh, really, Mr. Attorney General? You didn't report it then. You didn't write it down, but you're telling us some 10, 15 years later for self-serving purposes.
That would seem correct to me. That's exactly what's going on. I think that's a nice catch there by the sheriff.
Holder's a douchebag.
Oh, in fact, we'll just give him a little douchebag. Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka. I'm sorry?
Gun runner. Whatever happened to that guy in Chicago, by the way? We do have to do follow-up once in a while.
Oh, the Mexican, the drug guy? The drug guy, yeah. We should follow that up.
Yeah, we need to follow up on that.
Anyway, in the show notes, there'll be links to, you should definitely listen and watch the, if you haven't seen the Charles Barkley, what he has to say. And he calls Obama and Holder literally race baiters. And it's very strong. It's really, really strong, the stuff that he's saying. And I'm happy about that. But I think the public at large are just all in. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah.
And Barkley's just Barkley.
Yeah.
He's always
just Barkley. Exactly.
The public's all in. Yeah.
So those are the things to look out for. But I find it sad. I really find it sad. It's just sad. And the saddest thing is that all these people, like, you can't have a conversation with anybody anymore. Say, well, this is, it's a horrible white privilege. I have guilt. Like the guy from Common Core. Oh, I have to rewrite educational material because I had white privilege. And therefore, we have to lower the standards for everybody.
It's borderline clip of the month.
It's just so.
Let's make everything stupid because I had white privilege. This logic is beyond me.
It's so sad.